He was a failure. He was a monumental failure. The first year, 2015, we signed Revis back. We got Marcus Gilchrist and Buster Skrine and Antonio Cromartie. We drafted Leo. And we had Wilkerson and Sheldon Richardson and Snacks Harrison and all these guys. Right? So we had a good year. We brought in Brandon Marshall. We had Eric Decker. Oh, man. Fitzpatrick. And the magic of all that got us a pretty good year. But as is standard for us, we ended up losing in the last game to Rex Ryan's Buffalo Bills. Little, yee, take that, Jets fans. Like, that's how it goes, right? Yeah! ...2009, they rode the Mangini Express, Rex did, right to the AFC Championship game. Then they built upon that and got to the 2010 Championship game. And then it came. The worst offseason in New York Jets history. Well, hello again, sirs. You know, I figured for some reason the internet seems to be working. So let me just capitalize upon that. I don't know what I look like on your end over there, which I'll check in just a second here. But it seemed to be working. So I am going to, like I said, take a little second and appreciate it. I'm over here in Pennsylvania. I'm in a little place near Hershey, Pennsylvania. Let me see something here. Wait. Yeah. Whoops. So I'm in a little place called I don't remember the name of the town, but I'm near Hershey, Pennsylvania. And let me tell you something, man. Never in a million years did I think the internet was going to be as bad as it has been here. So, I mean, it's like literally my T-Mobile, my Verizon, my AT&T, nothing. Like, and I mean nothing. Like, my upload speeds were 0.5 megabytes per second. You need about 4 or 5 to get a good live stream, and it's 0.5. So for some reason, the house internet just started fucking working. I was like, holy shit, let's do it. So, hey, man, I'm happy you guys are here. There's quite a few of you in here. So thank you, and I appreciate it. Don't forget to like when you get the chance. If it's not too much of a bother, just click that little thumbs up. It helps a lot over here. So Johnny Stark, what a great name, man. I fancy myself a Stark myself. I am a Northman, without question. You are the best of the big three. Thanks for your videos, man. Well, thank you, Johnny Stark. I appreciate that. Are you able to come to the Coney Island thing, Johnny? You think you're going to be there with us? Right, Garrett? Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. So, yeah, man, I would love for you guys to, as many, if you're able, I would love for you guys to show up at the Coney Island thing. Like I said, it's not quite as, official as I wanted to make it, but it is still going to be us. You know what I mean? We're going to be there. What I was trying to do is get Coney Island or Luna Park, really, to give us like a room, just for like an hour, just like a room where we can hang, and then maybe like half price cyclone rides or like half price park entry, something. And they didn't even get back to me, man. And I'm pitching them for my full-time coaster tour as well. Like it, I'll explain to you guys. Like, so as I travel around the country, what we do is we tell these amusement parks that we're coming and we're going to make videos and we're going to do this and that. And a lot of places say, yeah, come on in. We'll give you 4 free tickets, or we'll give you this, that, the other thing. Like Hershey Park, I'm in there for free. Knoebels, I'm in for free. I just did the last 2 places for free. And there's quite a few. Everything on the Jersey Shore Coaster Tour, they're at least getting us on the coasters for free so we can help that charity. So it's going to be super cool when that happens. But anyway, so I lost my train of thought there. But okay, so let's see what you guys want to talk about. But thanks again, Johnny. I appreciate it. Let's see what you guys want to talk about. John Holton, what's he got? And you guys, in you guys' other stream tonight, I don't know if you saw, but we traded pick 66 in return. Yeah, I replied to you, you bastard. You didn't see that? I literally replied to this very text. I said, that is the way I'm choosing to look at it myself, Mr. Holton. But it's good. Maybe everybody else didn't see it. So, yeah, what he's saying, and this is kind of what I said it a little bit different, but I said, if somebody asked you a year ago when Jamal was giving up all that baloney, if you would trade Jamal Adams for a starting, potentially Pro Bowl caliber guard and a first round pick, would you have done it? I would have said absolutely. In 10 seconds, I would have did it. I would have traded remember the whole rumor about Jamal for a first and a third? That to me seemed like the cap, and I would have taken it if it was like Dallas is at the time we were talking about Dallas. So it was like, would you trade Jamal Adams for a first and a third? Dallas had the 17th overall picks. We would have taken like CeeDee Lamb, whatever. And I thought that was a great deal. The fact that we got 2 firsts and a third, it gives Joe Douglas that wiggle room. Dude, he got more than he was supposed to get. There's no way that looking back, Seattle would say, oh yeah, 2 firsts and a third, no problem. I'm telling you, they would not make that trade again after his play a year. And he wasn't terrible. Dude, he dropped like 4 or 5 interceptions alone. Dropped them. So it's not like he didn't get a chance. It's one thing he plays up in the box so he doesn't get as many opportunities. That's fine. But dude, they hit him in his hands, face, and chest. And he fucking dropped them. So anyway, yeah, man, I agree, Holton. I do. Just end the summer. I know, right? It's so weird. It's like, because the summer's the fun time, right? You get a lot of fun things done in the summer. And then here we are as football fans, like wishing it away. You know what I mean? Come on, fall. Come on, September. Get over here. So I hear you. So what's up, man? What's up with you? Let's see. Blake Hannigan, what's up with you, buddy? I see you guys. Luis Sanchez, what's up, Derek? You guys are all right. Billy Blanco, saluting you too, my friend. Yeah. J. Cole, are you around? I mean, listen, I want to tell you guys, it's not a formal thing. Like anyone can come. We are just meeting up in front of the Coney Island Cyclone at 11 a.m. We'll hang out. We'll cut it up. Well, O'Leary's confirmed. He said he's going to come. Ryan's going to try. He's trying to switch a working day. But it's a Saturday. I planned it on a Saturday with Sack Exchange. You guys know Sack Exchange over on Twitter, the guy who gives away all that free stuff. Yeah, so he's confirmed. It's basically been he and I have been the ones kind of working this out and talking about it. So he's going to be there. Sack Exchange will be there. O'Leary will be there. Joe the Comic's going to be there. I got a few other guys I'm working on, and potentially Ryan. He'll let us know this week. So yeah, J. Cole, you can come. You just got to know, I can't, like we're going to have to pay for our own stuff. Like, so if you want a Nathan's Frank, you got to pay for it. You want to ride the Cyclone, you got to pay for it. No, you're a Texas resident, Stark? I got you. Fly up. Fly up for a singular ride on the Cyclone. So, yeah, but any of you guys can come. Yeah, John Post, I'll be at Knoebels Sunday, I think it is. Yep. Pretty sure it's Sunday. I can't wait to go to Knoebels. That's one, Knoebels has a roller coaster over there called the Phoenix. And it keeps getting voted like best wooden coaster in the world. It's crazy. Yes, so John D, yes, I am going to Knoebels. That's what I was just saying, right? Yeah, so absolutely. It's one of, like I have a few, like I'm going to hit as many parks as I can. Like we have like 20-something parks for the summer planned. But there are a few parks that are like bucket listy. You know what I mean? Knoebels is one of them. Absolutely. I've never been in. I grew up in New Jersey, and I remember talking about it. Just never made it out there. William Mason. Am I from Virginia? I see you rocking some. Uh, well, I'm not from there, but we lived there the last 4 or 5 years. And my wife's family is like long time Charlottesvillian. Let's see a second. Where the hell's am I popping my piece? There it is. Holy shit. How did I make it this far? So we lived in Charlottesville. And that's where my wife's family, my wife's family's been there for 300 years. Like there are streets named after my wife's family in there. So they've been there a long time. Sorry about that, guys. I hope I wasn't too obstructive. Let's see. What else we got? Let me go to the bottom here. Are you coming to Dutch Wonderland? I'm telling you what. I was talking about it today, Mr. Sanchez. You're in Lancaster? That's so cool. I used to go to a club in Lancaster. I used to see bands. What the hell was the name of that place? Years ago. I was like 20. I forget. It's a long time ago, man. But yeah, no, you know what's fun? They haven't gotten back to me yet about whether or not they're going to let me in. So I have it like open. I'm actually coming back to Pennsylvania when Dorney Park opens. So I'm going to be back here. I'm waiting on that. If that's the week I would hit Dutch Wonderland. They have 2 coasters there I got to get on. Yeah, man. So. Oh, Silv Scouts. There you go. So you're going to come? Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I will accept all gratuities. I think the cycle, last time I went there like 2-3 years ago. It was $10 a ride. So, and I plan on riding it like 5 times. So I'll let you pay for one if you want. I appreciate that, man. I know, right? Look at this. Look at this, starting to rain. I don't know if you guys saw us on Jets Media last night. Dude, I was sitting there and I was lagging out hard. It was pouring around me. I'm under my awning and it was just whipping around and everything. It's fucking crazy. So no, E-Rock, I'm not paying for everybody. But like I said, that's what I was working on. I wanted to be able to say to you guys, like, half price rides on the Cyclone, or it comes with a whole bunch of Nathan's hot dogs. I was working on something, but they don't really, I don't know what it is. They don't want to talk about anything. And I was even using Jet Nation. I was trying to drop the Jet Nation bomb on them. And they just didn't get back. What are you going to do? So I didn't want to not meet with you guys. You know, I was trying to put together something on the Jersey Shore too. I had it all worked out. I had the bar. It was a place called Used to Be's. My brother-in-law owns it. It's in Manalocan, like between Point Pleasant and Seaside on 33 there, I think it is. 35, 33. But yeah, I had it all worked out, but then our schedules couldn't work out. I couldn't get Ryan. I couldn't get Matt. It just didn't work. It didn't work. So it sucked. I had it all planned to be like a big meetup. And that was going to come with food and everything else. John D. Hey, Green Bean. We spoke on Twitter. I'd be totally down to meet up at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Yeah, dude. Well, like I said, I got to get that on the back around. See, we came through Texas, went into Florida for the winter, and now we're going up the East Coast, like toward New England. I'm going to spend a lot of time in Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, Cape Cod a little bit. So, but then we're going back down to New Mexico. And then after that, for the winter, I believe we're going to hit Texas again. And I got to hit Fiesta, Texas. That's the one I didn't make it to in Texas. There was another one in Amarillo I didn't make it to as well. You know? Yeah, isn't he the best Sack Exchange? He really is, dude. I'm telling you, I talk to him all the time, and he's just, he means it. His whole motivation for giving out all the free stuff to Jets fans is literally so Jets fans understand that Jets fans should take care of each other. That's it. He just wants to make people's day. That's it. There's nothing else going on there. Unless you didn't tell me. Yeah, so... Nolte, he said Jamal Adams went from being a gung-ho Jet to being a me first, screw the team guy. Now, look at it this way. Number one, I liked Jamal Adams. All right. Like, I'm not going to revisionist history change my feelings, right? Like, I liked him. I thought he was a stupid pick. I did. We needed a quarterback and we didn't take one. And I was a big Deshaun Watson supporter. I didn't like Mahomes as much. I didn't like Trubisky as much either. I liked Deshaun Watson. So I thought he was a dumb pick. Like, it gave me visions of Calvin Pryor, but worse. You know what I mean? Like Calvin Pryor in the first, when so many great wide receivers were there. It was such a good draft, and we took a safety. I couldn't believe it. So I thought he was a bad pick, but I did like the player. I loved his gung-ho attitude, the Twitter shit and the Instagram stuff. I never liked it, but it wasn't enough for me to hate him or anything like that. I knew people that hated him from the minute he got here. That wasn't me. I liked him. But as I watched him, man, let me tell you, like the 6.5 sacks that he got in 2019, dude, he got 5 of those in 2 games. 5. He got 3 against the Giants. Oh, no, 3 against, I think it was 3 against the Redskins and 2 against the Giants. So what's with the other 14 games? It was actually 13 games because he missed one. So what did he do? And that's the thing. Like, I was always waiting to see, when is Jamal Adams going to like take over a game that means anything? Like, or not even a game that means something, but a time of the game, a part of the game that means something. Like, we're up by 3 and they're driving and Jamal Adams does the play, and it's never happens. So as I started watching him, I still liked him, but I was growing disenchanted with the idea that he was going to be the force that changed the team. He just didn't do much for me. I liked him, but when it was time to trade him, I was like, if you can get a first and a third for this guy and get a receiver or something, I thought so too. I thought we should do it, I mean. So Iraq, first time this team feels real, right, dude? Like, let me ask you guys, when we hired Adam Gase, did any of you get psyched? If you did, let's talk about it, because I want to know why. Not to make fun of you or anything. Nobody will attack you. But did it was like, what? For me, what? That's who I wanted Mike McCarthy. I did. I thought, holy shit, there's a Super Bowl winning coach that's just got fired, and he's right there. I looked at it as the same way as like the Chiefs got Andy Reid. I couldn't believe it. And don't forget, Andy Reid he'd never won a Super Bowl before that. So there was a knock on Andy Reid, but it was like, dude, the guy's a great coach. The Eagles are just stupid. They made that dumb move because their fans are so intense. You know? So when we hired Adam Gase instead of him, and I liked Matt Rule too. I didn't like Matt Rule at the beginning. I didn't even know about Matt Rule. But as I looked at him and said, holy shit, this guy's a legit coach. And I really liked the idea of hiring Matt Rule. And then when it was either McCarthy or Matt Rule, and then we come up with Adam Gase, I thought it was a fake report, man. I was like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? So to get to Iraq's point, it's like when you look at this team with Joe Douglas, who you might not agree with everything he does. I know I don't. But you can see that there's a method, there's a system, there's something happening with what he's trying to do. When you looked at Idzik's drafts or Mac's drafts, they didn't make sense. It was like, okay, well, what the fuck is he doing? Like, think about it. Mac in 3 years took a 6th round tight end, a 4th round tight end, and a 4th round tight end. Like why? No offensive lineman until he took 2, right? 2 offensive linemen and Chuma Edoga in the 3rd. And I didn't even love Chuma. Like, there were other offensive linemen. I'm okay, we're taking an offensive lineman, but so when you look at these teams, like when you look at Joe Douglas and you look at Robert Saleh, you look at our offensive line coach, he's one of the most respected offensive line coaches in the league. You look at Mike LaFleur, he's never had an offense yet, but he's been hanging out with a widely regarded top offensive mind in the league for 10 years. He's been his right-hand man. You know what I mean? So, like our guys, it looks legit. Salah, you see how excited he got for offensive players? Elijah Moore and Elijah Vera Tucker. He was psyched because he's the head coach. He's not like, I want guys from my side. They're all his side. Rex was even like that. He wanted defense. Every single first round pick except for Mark Sanchez was defense for Rex because that's what he wanted. Yeah, so right, Brian. I was pissed too. I couldn't believe it. I was on Jet Nation that whole night. I talked until like 4 a.m. about Adam Gase. And there was a couple guys trying to spin it positively, but I wrote this whole thing. I'm like, guys, I need you to know right now, I am brokenhearted. I can't believe that the next few years of our lives are going to be this bad. And I rooted for him. I wanted to be wrong, but we weren't. So Garrett says, I was big on McCarthy, but I don't think that would have turned. I don't either. And in hindsight, we know we'd probably still have Mike McCagnon, or there would be some big internal war or whatever. I don't think it would have worked out either. I think, who said it earlier? Somebody, I think Rusty Spooner in the previous chat said, Gase was the necessary evil. I forget the word he used, but Gase was necessary to get us here. And as bad as it was, when I look back at the lineage of our situation, I think he was. Like it was called, in my world, we call that bottoming out. You needed to hit the bottom before you can go up. If you never hit your bottom, you always think you're okay. So Gase was needed. That's what got us Joe Douglas. That's what got us down here. So we can actually say, all right, we got to clean it. So it's, as much as I didn't want him, he was necessary. And that's why this team is able to be built like it's being built, because we have nothing. We're fucking 2-14 with nothing. Our quarterback was the 32nd ranked. Actually, he was the 36th ranked quarterback in the league last year. Hey, man, who didn't love Sam? But that's the truth. We were 2-14 with the 36th ranked quarterback and the 32nd ranked offense. Like, that's where we were. That's called the bottom. Silv says, I was psyched because I forced myself to do so. I feel obliged to get behind the head coach, at least at the beginning. Now, that I can understand. I get it. I mean, I wouldn't use the word psyched for myself, but I get it. Like, as soon as I cried and bitched and moaned for however long I did, I got behind him, right? I wanted to like him. I wanted him to do well. I wanted to be wrong so bad. And then remember, we lost the first game against Buffalo because of the damn kicker. And then it was like Sam got mono, and then what was his name? Our second quarterback. Osweiler? Was that who we had? Who the fuck was his name? Maybe it was Osweiler. I don't even know. But he went down, broke his leg, and then Luke Falk came in, and it was just like, remember? It was so bad, so fast. I couldn't believe it. What's Snalty? Salty Nuts says, you knew it was going to be bad, coach, when they had to agree to not picking their own stuff. Yeah. And that's McCagnon for you. What is that? Right? So that's why it's good. Like, we're turning the page. It feels completely different. Like, think about this, guys. 6 months ago, we were 2-14. Worst team in the league. Really. Even the Jags looked better. They just kept losing, but they were a better team. That's it. Nick Hunter nailed it. It was because Peyton Manning called the new owner, who was the younger brother of Woody, and he was all psyched to be talking to Peyton Manning. That's it. He wooed him. So Donkerschlut, expectations for Jabari Zuniga. Yeah, okay, let's talk. So let me say this. I was actually very high on Jabari Zuniga last year. Now, he wasn't the first pass rusher I would have taken. I forget who it was. It was somebody I liked a little bit more right there in that spot. But taking Jabari Zuniga, I was like, oh, okay, man, this guy's good. This guy's good. And everybody's concern was we just took Ja'Kai Polite. He was the guy who replaced Ja'Kai Polite at Florida the year before, right? So it was like, oh, here we go, another loser like Ja'Kai Polite, but they're totally different players. Jabari Zuniga is widely considered a hard worker, balls to the wall. His problem was injury, so that's the concern, right? But let me tell you, my expectations for him is he's probably going to take a step up this year, and we're not going to really see him, have an impact until year 3. But I think he's probably going to play 30% of the snaps this year if he stays healthy. That's the key thing. And I think he'll have like 3 or 4 sacks, a few tackles for losses, probably like 30 tackles kind of a thing. That's what I think. We're going to like Jabari Zuniga, man. I liked him coming out. There were a few guys I liked. Last year was such a good draft because we took guys that I actually researched and liked, like Bryce Hall. Dude, I loved Bryce Hall coming out. I couldn't believe we didn't take him in the 4th round. Like when we had 3 4th-round picks, and we took 3 guys that I knew were not better than Bryce Hall. I was furious. I thought, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's looking at. And then we got him in the 5th. I was like, oh, okay, maybe we have ourselves a GM. But guys like Cam Clark, guys like Jabari Zuniga, Bryce Hall, LaMichael Pirine. I know people are down on him. That's fine. He's a player. He's one of those guys. He's super crazy consistent. Like I said, he was set up to fail last year, and he still did okay. 3.7-yard average, touchdown, good pass blocking. You know what I mean? So he did his job, but it was underwhelming, no doubt. But I think LaMichael Pirine's a good player. I like him. So, and then obviously Becton, Mims. Oh my God, Mims was my top 5 receiver last year coming out of the draft. So I hope you guys understand. I'm talking quiet because I'm outside and it's dead silent in a campground, and I have people all around me. Like, yeah, it's silent. It's 11 o'clock. It's actually quiet time, so I got to be quiet. But yeah, that's how I think Zuniga's going to be good. Derek, what are you talking about here? I know this is probably a while ago, but what is it? Tell me what you're talking about. Yo, there he is. Ali, what's up, buddy? Green Bean the legend. Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you, man. Thank you. Let me back it up a little bit and see what Simeon. Right, that's who it was. Thank you, Garrett. What'd I say? Osweiler? Those guys are the same pocket for me. Trevor Simeon. Thank you, Pump of Wall Street. I see you guys. Thank you. Silv had it. I appreciate it. He was, and this is the truth. Darnold was the sacrificial lamb. It's the truth. It's the truth. Like the poor guy, right? I mean, look, in the grand scheme of life, I mean, he's already made $20-something million, so he's fine. But still, he coming out of college, he had the potential to have like one of those truly great careers, and he still does. But man, did we hinder it. Holy shit. You know? So what's all right? Now I'm going to start going down. This is the last one I'm backing up. Green Bean, what's up? Joe D for Prez. Love the draft. I think our young secondary will be very good this year. All the rookies will be key contributors on all 3 phases. I believe it. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Not 100% with you. Like I said, like I have some issues with this draft. I like it overall, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I really like it. Like I said, the top 4 are absolutely contributors, man. Like, and dude, you know it, man. When you come out of a draft with 4 starters, the draft is a success. Now the problem with that is that we had 2 firsts and 2 thirds. So you fucking better come out of that with 4 starters. You know what I'm saying? But still, it doesn't matter. If you come out of a draft with 4 starters, it's a successful draft. And when you look at guys like Nazrul Dean, Michael Carter II, those are players too. You know what I mean? So you can have 5 or 6. And then a guy like Pinnock, who I don't like, they say that he's really a special teams guy. That's really what his deal is. They're looking at him as somebody who can be that great special teams guy. Okay. So let's say you get 5 starters and a special teams ace. It's a good draft. Now, when you add guys like Kenny Yeboah and Hamilcar Rashid and Hoj is how you say it. And then who's the other guy that I really like? Teton Saltes. It might be Teton Saltes. Offensive tackle from New Mexico. He's 6'6", 322 pounds. And the reason that Joe Douglas likes him is he's an absolute leader. This guy has already lobbied to Congress for indigenous children benefits. Like, that's what this guy's doing in his spare time. He's lobbying Congress. Way out there. He's a fucking leader, guys. And that's what think about this. He's a leader. He's like top tier person. He's also 6'6" and 322 pounds. Okay. And he plays stud. So that's one of my favorite undrafted free agents. So I'm with you, Mike. I am. I'm with you. Like I said, I have issues with this draft. This draft was weird for me. Positive, but weird. And I didn't love the way it went. Like even Elijah Moore, who I love, I thought we should have been going in a different direction. I'm happy with it now. I am. I'm happy with it. But I would have gone a different direction. I was going linebackers and all that. I forget who was still there. It all smears together for me right now, but there were guys I wanted and I think would have been really good. But it's a weird draft. Like, look at guys like Dylan Moses made it all the way to undrafted free agent. That's a fucking 3rd or 4th round pick right there. Why? I think it had to do with just the COVID thing. It mucked it all up, just like last year. Like the reason Bryce Hall made it to the 5th round is because they couldn't do the same medical assessments and he had a major injury. So the people were afraid of him. That's what happens. All right, well, let's see. Just want to tell you guys that I'm going to try to do my best like I always do with the comments, but there's a lot of them. If you have something you really want to say, I always appreciate super chats, and obviously I'll guarantee that gets read. Okay? I'm going to do my best. So Daniel Bloom, you know what? So he says, being a Knicks fan, the Jets rebuild right now feels very similar. It started from the top down with Joe D. Yeah, now, you know what's sad? I was a diehard Nets fan for a long time. And I used to go to Nets games, and they were so bad. Like the Bulls would come with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman. They would have to come and play. And the Nets teams were so bad that they geared the experience, the games, around children. So like in between, like, you know, most teams would have all these sexy girls. The Nets had like these, they looked like the Teletubbies. They were like these furry, colorful bears. And they would come out and dance for the kids. It was embarrassing, but I was there like rooting for the Nets. So because the Nets were so bad, I was also a diehard Knicks fan during the Patrick Ewing, Anthony Mason, those teams, Charles Oakley, John Stark. They were fun, man. But I would watch every single game. So of both teams. So we're talking about 160 fucking games. And now that they're good, I don't watch. I don't have the time. Isn't that sad? Like, I want to watch these Nets and these Knicks so bad, but I can't. What's up, J.E.? I see you. So anyway, yeah, man, but it does. It feels the same way. And you see, dude, if you stop trying to quick fix it with band-aids and big contract guys, if you just say, you know what, we can't do that, and you put in the real work, it can happen. What the Jets have done for 10 straight years is try to quick fix it. Look at McCagnon, Revis, Gilchrist, Cromartie, Buster Screen, Leonard Williams, all these guys, Muhammad Wilkerson contract. Dude, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker, all these guys. And, Decker was Idzik, but still, it's like all these guys at the end of their career try to real quick get it. It doesn't work. It almost never works. It's working in Tampa Bay right now because they had a great team, dude, already. And they added Tom Brady to that shit. You know what I mean? Come on. So a nice slow rebuild is the way to do it. Build your foundation. You know what I mean? Yeah, Sam, McCagnon was a fraud. Absolutely. What's Eagle Fang talking about? What do you say? Trevor, the Lions picked up. What are you saying, Eagle Fang? The guy from Notre Dame, the Lions picked up? Let me see. Who's the Lion? You mean in the draft? Let me see. Let's see here. Because I'm not really sure. Who I looked once, and it was a very good draft, from what I remember. Yeah, Salty. Zuniga played a little bit last year, but he was hobbled. He had a couple good plays, but very disappointing. But like I said, he came in later in the year for a few plays, very limited action on a losing team, on a shitty team. Let's see. Let's see who they got for Eagle Fang here. So I know who you're talking about. He went one pick before Ashton. Oh, you mean last year? I'm sorry, I was looking at this year. Last year, one pick before Ashton Davis. Let me see. Let's see what we got here. I'll tell you right now, buddy boy. I have this tool. I don't know if you guys have it. It's called the internet. So I do that. I can't snap, but my internet sucks. So there's that. I can't even play with it because what ends up happening is that I ruin the connection. So you guys look it up. Tell me. Julian Okwara is the guy. That's right. I liked him a whole bunch. That's it. You're right. That's the guy. Now, you know what? Last year when we took Ashton Davis, don't forget Marcus May and Jamal Adams were still here. I fucking hated that pick. Didn't you hate it? When it first came, I was like, what? Especially after, like, Joe Douglas is weird. It's weird. Like, he takes Mekhi Becton and follows it with Denzel Mims. And I'm like, finally, we have a GM that gets it. And then he turns around and takes Ashton Davis. I was like, what is this? But knowing that he was getting rid of Jamal Adams and he wanted a stud safety, athleticism, again, it starts to make sense now. Thank you, Manny. I appreciate that. So Jeremy Cravat, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Pinnock and Justin Hardy, JD does it all, solid. And that's just it. Like, see that, Jeremy? If that's what he's doing, right? So he brings in Justin Hardy. The whole reason he's here is to improve special teams. And then he takes Jason Pinnock, and it's like the same thing. It's like, let's get a young guy in here, but one of the best guys, special teams guys in the NFL, right? He's building the pipeline for that. Now, that makes sense to me. We just don't know if that's what he's doing. It looks like it. And if that is what he's doing, then it's very smart. And then all of a sudden, I like the pick a little more. Right? So thank you. DJ Sin 6. What's up, buddy? Scouting isn't the same without a full college season. Right. And now you see guys, right, DJ Sin? Look at guys like Gregory Rousseau. He opted out for the season. Dude, that's the best pass rusher in this draft. If he would have played and continued, dude, he was definitely going to be 90% chance. He was going to be the first edge rusher taken. Instead, he slides all the way back to, what is it, 30th pick, 29th pick, something like that, to Buffalo. So you're absolutely right. They don't have the same access that they're used to having on these guys. So like it started with 2020's draft. Like that's like I said with Bryce Hall. And there were a lot of guys like that. Guys slid like Bryce Huff and a lot of other guys that normally wouldn't slide because they couldn't get the same access. And that's what happened this year. So there are guys that they were able to spend time with, like Jamie and Sherwood. You know that Jamie and Sherwood, Jason Pinnock and Michael Carter II weren't even in the Sims we were all playing with. That's how far out of the box they were. But our Jets guys, our scouts, were able to spend time with them. And they weren't able to spend time with other guys that we were looking at. You know what I'm saying? So it's just an interesting year. And that's a great point. E-Rock, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Tomorrow I'm playing a big show. Ironically, 2 years ago, I played the same festival and wore my Sam jersey. I talked so highly of him in the field. Isn't that nuts, man? 1 year ago right now, we were thinking Becton and Mims for Sam. Remember? 1 year ago right now. It's crazy what a year does. Let us know what kind of show is it, man? You're playing in a band, right? What kind of show is it? What festival? Tell us. We want to know. I know I do. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Now, did you guys see the video that I made last year with for Jet Nation? It's called Is the Rumor True? Or not, maybe not that one. I forget what it's called, but it's on Jet Nation. And dude, I'm telling you, a guy that I know told me he works over there at Florham Park, and he told me that this guy, I know a couple people over there, but this one person told me, you cannot say my fucking name. Don't even allude to it. I said, okay. He told me Joe Douglas is more than likely going to get rid of Jamal Adams. He doesn't really love Sam Darnold as his quarterback, and he's definitely firing Gase unless he makes it to the playoffs. And I put that video out before this season. Everybody told me it was clickbait. Everybody. Fuck you. You're dead. You're making shit up. I said, I'm not making it up. It's what he told me. I don't know if it's true. And I even said in the video, I don't believe it. I think Jamal was just traded, but he told me right before the Jamal trade, but I didn't make the video. So I think it's a year ago, but anyway, I said in the video, I don't believe the Sam Darnold thing. So I said as much, but that's what I was told. Now, less than a year later, it's all true. But it is crazy. It's crazy what a year does. I'll tell you, man. It's crazy what a year does, boys. So let me see. I don't want to miss anybody here. DJ Sin, I got that. Thank you, E-Rock. I appreciate it. Let me know what show you're playing. So tell your boys. See if anybody can go support you. You know what I mean? And let me see. Oh, Pump of Wall Street. There he is. That's the one. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I was sweating bullets seeing Fields falling to the Patriots. But, dude, they got Mac Jones. I know. I liked Fields a lot more than Mac Jones, too. But Mac Jones is underrated, man. Underrated. He doesn't have the same flashy attributes that a lot of other guys. I wish both Fields and Mac Jones were taken before the damn Patriots. But then they would have gotten Davis Mills or somebody and Kellen Mond and just done well with them. But, it's like you can't just say, I mean, I know Josh McDaniels is a good offensive coordinator, but he's kind of a piece of shit too, man. Like, don't forget, he ruined Denver. He went over to Denver. They had Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall, and he blew it up for no reason because he wanted Castle over there. So dumb. And then he goes and does that thing with the Colts, screws them over. So I think Josh McDaniels, there's the potential that he's a fraud. Don't forget, just like Gase, he's had Tom Brady his whole career. Tom Brady left McDaniels and did just fine. So I don't know. They did have Jarrett Stidham, and he was the same kind of a prospect as, maybe not quite as much as Mac Jones, but a similar type of a prospect. And they didn't do anything with Jarrett Stidham. So maybe Mac Jones. So you're right. That's a good. See my process here, Pump of Wall Street. I go around. I go. You know what? Yes, this is what I think. So I agree. I'm glad they didn't get Fields. I just wish they didn't get Mac Jones as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, but thank you, Pump of Wall Street. I appreciate that. Kyle Ornsby, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the super chat. Now we have a good O-line, or D-line. Quinnen will be unleashed. If he can stop breaking his damn feet. How did he break his foot? Does anybody know? I didn't see it. Man. Like, why? I saw that it happened, but the couple things I looked at didn't say how he broke it. That he broke it kicking someone's ass, maybe? He just got married, too, didn't he? To his publicist? Or his assistant? It makes me nervous for the young man, doesn't it? You don't like that. I mean, I hope it's great. I hope it's the love of his life. But I don't know. Young buck, naive, coming into the world, and a lady who's his assistant ends up marrying him. I don't know. I'm a negative Nancy with that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think our defensive line, dude, just think of these characters. And it's so much better. Like when you have a 3-4, let me back it up. So when you have a 3-4 alignment, number one, your defensive line in large part is there to take up the space. They fill the gaps. You got a lot of two gapping going on, right? And you know they're big bodies. Like 3-4 defensive linemen are usually like they're bigger, and you want them to clog the space most of the time. And then for that to work, you need really effective outside linebackers and even inside linebackers. But really, you need outside linebackers that are going to be effective taking the edges off. Now, when you got guys like Jordan Jenkins, with all due respect, Jordan Jenkins, and who else? With Terrell Basham. Right? Like, who else? Is there anybody of note? Like, it doesn't work. So you got a guy like Quinnen Williams, who's, like I said, I called him a slippery goon. I like that name for him. I'm going to make a shirt, I think. Slippery goon. But he's he's super fast. Like, he's really strong, but he's super fast and slippery. When his job is to eat space between two linemen, he can't really be as effective. Now, when you take that and you bring 4 down linemen and you have a guy like Lawson on the edge who's effective, he's taking the edge off over there. They got to pay attention. And then you got John Franklin Myers and Vinnie Curry and Bryce Huff or Zuniga, whoever it is going to be over there, taking the edge off over there. And then you have a guy like Sheldon Rankins. You know what he's good at? Rushing, creating pressure from the inside. He's a good run stuffer, but he creates pressure. So now you have all these guys that are worthy of attention. They're not just there to eat the space. They're there to get through and eat your fucking quarterback's face. Just like you said, Kyle, we're going to see Quinnen Williams lighten the world up this year. I agree. I think it's absolutely his path. If you look at his progression, he's been going up, right? He's been getting better. He's getting refined. He's building his strength. He's slimming down. He's no longer that chubby little kid that we saw coming into the league. Bless you. Thank you. Remember? He's the cutest little guy in the world. And now he lost a bunch of weight. Hold on, I'm going to get yelled at.
Hi.
Oh, what's up? What are you doing? Go to bed.
I can't go to bed.
Okay, well, I'm live, so I'll come in a little bit.
Okay.
All right. My daughter creeping on me. You saw he's building his strength. He's slimming down. He's becoming a man. Dude, this is his year. Adding it or changing it to a 4-man front was the best thing that could have happened to Quentin Williams. And then on top of that, you give him to Robert Saleh, a guy known to make players better, to make them work harder. Dude, I agree, Kyle. It's the best thing that could have happened to him. Carl Lawson, Vinny Curry, Robert Saleh, 4-man front. Come on. If our linebackers are any good, it's going to be insane. Especially if you send somebody through the middle. Like if you had a 4-man front and you blitz our middle linebacker, dude, it's going to be insanity this year. Let me see. Did E-Rock tell us where he's playing? No, he didn't tell us. Let me see this last one. So thank you for the super chat, guys. I appreciate that. Hey, Green Bean, we on our way to being a real contender the way JD is building and constructing a championship caliber type of team. He was a true Jet fan. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I am a true Jets fan. And you are as well. Yeah. But yeah, I agree, man. Like I said, it's been painful, dude. It's been painful. And it's been tough this last decade. It really has. It's been tough having so much fun in 2009 and 2010 to fucking what we dealt with this last 10 years. And to all the Jets fans who like were young and came on during that excitement of 2009 and 10 and 11, that got you. And then so your whole Jets life has been terrible. I feel for you. Because we had a few batches. We had, the 80s were pretty good. We didn't make anything out of them, but they were good. The Sack Exchange, Freeman McNeil, Kenny O, Wesley Walker, Al Toon, Mickey Schuler. We had some good teams, very exciting. And then we had Parcells years. Then we had, Herm Edwards was very successful head coach with us. Remember, the Chiefs traded us for him. It's the craziest thing. And then we had, after that, the Rex. Even Mangini was good. Like that 10-6 the first year. He had a down year. Then he was 9-7 and got fired. Right? Because he missed the playoffs. And then Rex. So we had I thought we would never be this bad again. I thought, oh yeah, we went through our bad time. That's over. And here we are again. So I feel for you guys. I do. Let's see what we got here. Almost 100 watching. There you go, Windsor. Thank you, Mr. Trousdale. Almost 100 watching, less than 50 likes. Come on, fellas and ladies. Let's show Green Bean some love and hit that like button. Agreed. Yep, it does a great deal of positivity if you can do that for me. Hit the like button. It takes a second. I appreciate it if you do. Yeah, Friggle D says, JD is gambling on twitchy athletes. Yeah, man. Like I said, there were some names that I liked a lot better. Hold on one second. What's up? Hey.
Do you have ice cream soon?
No, you cannot have ice cream right now.
No. They could do on the live stream soon.
Yeah, about a half hour.
Half hour.
Yeah, 20 minutes. Julia, come on. I'm talking to 100 people. Can you please? I'll be in a little bit. You're not supposed to be awake right now. That's why I'm doing it. Sorry, guys. Go.
I can't go to sleep.
It's okay. Lay in bed. I'll come in a minute. A little while. So, anyway, I lost my train of thought, obviously. What's up, Kenneth, the famous Kentucky fan? Listening while smoking. Mr. Tudor, you're funny, man. That was a funny post. It was a funny comment you left me. It was. Let's see. Pump of Wall Street says E-Rock is playing out in St. Louis, Missouri, food truck festival. Oh, nice. How do you know that? You guys buds? I was in St. Louis on the way out west last year. We hung out under the arch, and then we did I went to the Cahokia Indian Mounds. You guys familiar with that? That was great. Went out to Cahokia Indian Mounds, but then the reason I bring this up is because we had St. Louis pizza. If you guys don't know what St. Louis pizza is, listen to this. they have a cheese that's called Provel. And it's unlike anything you've ever had on a pizza before. Number one, the crust, they do a round pie, but they cut it into squares. So it's not cut into pie slices like we like in the Northeast. It's cut into squares. So everything's like a little square piece of pizza, right? They're like little crackers. But the crust is like, it's not hard, but it's like well done, and it's like chewy. It's like almost tough. It's like a little thicker, a little bit more robust, but thin. It's weird. It's very interesting. But then they use this cheese. It's called Provel cheese. And what that is cheddar, think provolone, and Swiss. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? So cheddar, Swiss, and provolone, I think. I don't think it's mozzarella. I got to look. Hold on. Let me see. I got to look at this. I got to see. Provel cheese. Let me see. See how slow my internet is, man. It's crazy. You know? I'm telling you. I can't believe we're even doing this well tonight. So, we'll get back to Provel. But yeah, thank you, Pump of Wall Street. Let's see. J.E. says Kenny O was not that bad, but held the ball too long, got hit a lot. Yeah, that's actually very correct. And then he would hold the ball too long and then throw these wacky passes that Altoon would completely extend and get and catch, and then take massive hits and fall on his head on the AstroTurf, the concrete. And he left us with concussions. Terrible. All right, hold on. Provel is a white processed cheese product particularly popular in St. Louis. Cheddar, Swiss, and provolone. Yeah, I had it. Nice. So this is what it looks like, though. This is, let me see. Shit. So look, this is St. Louis pizza. Let me show you guys. So see what I'm saying? So that's St. Louis. So it's round, but they cut it into squares. Let me tell you, my first 2 or 3 bites were weird. And then I was like, yeah, I could do this. Absolutely. I forget the name of the place in St. Louis. There's one really famous place. That's where I went to get it. What's up, Armin Motion? I see you, buddy. J.E.'s a Jets fan since 84. Right. You and me are in the same pocket. I became a fan in 82. I started really paying attention, though, in like 85, 86. Before bombing out, quite literally zero way it could get worse. Yeah, right. Brian says it can't work. No, you know what, man? This is the funny thing about bottoming out is that there's always a new layer. Like, what if we found out that like Joe Douglas was actually a murderer? You know what I mean? Like, it can always get worse. But I'm with you. This was about as good of a bottom as we could hope for. It's good. We qualify. So let's see what else we got here. Let me see. I think I saw another. Oh, no, that was the E-Rock thing. Thanks again, Pump of Wall Street. All right, let's see who we got. Kenneth is new here. So welcome, buddy. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. I say we'll do like another 15 minutes, and you guys saw I got to go tend to my young one. See what's going on in there. Look at this. Radha Krishna. Hi, I am from India. Please help me. I need online work. I need $650. Everybody, let's help him. Let's get him $650, please. Come on. Help the poor guy. Right? Fucking crazy. How much worse was Gase than Kotite, in my opinion? Brian, good question, man. I think Gase was significantly worse than Rich Kotite. Rich Kotite's teams, he did a lot of stupid things, but number one, they built a good team. The team was good. Like, it had a lot of talent on the team. I think one big mistake was the Neil O'Donnell thing. He was terrible. Dude, think about this. Neil O'Donnell just lost the Super Bowl by throwing 2 interceptions for touchdowns to a guy named Larry Brown, a 12th round cornerback, 12th round pick when we still had 12 rounds, made Larry Brown a millionaire in that game. He loses the Super Bowl by throwing 2 interceptions for touchdowns. That was the last game of the year, as you know. So he loses the Super Bowl by throwing 2 picks, and the Jets make him their free agent target and pay him $5 million a year when that was the biggest contract in the NFL. What do you think of that? Does that seem like the guy you want to throw $25 million? It's $5 million a year times 5 years. $25 million to the guy who just threw 2 picks and lost the Super Bowl for his team. No, E-Rock, I didn't say you were trying to plug. I know that. And I didn't mean to make it sound that way. I just figured, let's plug. Why not? I was just saying, like, I appreciated the point and everything. Everything that you were intending landed. I just took it a step further and figured, hey, let's find out. I know what you were doing, man. Don't even sweat it. So let me tell you, Adam Gase's teams were not competitive in the slightest. Even that 6-2 run against all those, I mean, it was kind of fun, but we you know what I mean? It wasn't, we lost to Cincinnati. They were winless. We lost to like 4 winless teams that year. And it's like, I mean, there were large stretches where we couldn't do anything. Like last year, it was like games we couldn't do a thing. Rich Kotite's teams weren't that way. We just kept losing. But there were so many announcers that said we were the best 1-in-15 team in the history of the NFL. Now, small consolation, but when you compare the two, Gase was atrocious. Nobody hated Rich Kotite either. Like they, you know, he resigned out of respect for Leon Hess. He told Leon Hess like 2 games or the day before the last game, I'm going to resign because of respect for the man. He said, I don't want to keep dragging you through this bullshit. So I think Gase was significantly worse. Good, Kenneth. I'm glad you're doing well, buddy. I'm glad you're here. Oh, you know, right, Jay? Right. I see you guys. Thank you for letting me off the hook with the kid. Let's see. Food truck festival. Nice. What else we got here? Where are you guys? I know, right, Matt? Matt pops in and we're talking about St. Louis cheese. That's funny. Oh, yeah. So John Post knows, has like a buttery texture. Cracker bread. Right. You guys know. You guys know, man. Love this. Real life green bean. Right on, man. I know. Well, James Thrice, you know what's funny? He says, can I have some ice cream? I know. That's what she said. We went to Chocolate World today. We're in Hershey. So we went over to Chocolate World. I bought a 1 pound peanut butter cup. Well, it's 2. It's like 2 half-pound peanut butter cups. They're like this thick, like that big. And when we're done, one of those is toast. I'm going to be sick. But we bought all kinds of shit. A 2 pound chocolate bar. You know, they have a new candy bar called a Who's a What's It. You know, like whatchamacallit? A Who's What's It. I bought it. I had to. Had to do it. How the fuck you don't buy that? So anyway, what, Erock, you didn't know about the Provel cheese, that it has Swiss in it? Is that what you're saying? Yes, it melts, right? Provel is a combination of cheddar, Swiss, and provolone. Right, right. I'm behind now. Let me get up to the bottom here. Go Hangard, what you saying? Like I mentioned, there are weird picks in this year's draft, some head scratchers. Usually it's only teams like the Raiders that do that. The Raiders do it way up front, though. Like, look at Cleveland Farrell at number 4. I think he's got 5 sacks in his whole career. Right? That was the same year as Quinnen, right? I think. Yeah, I think that was the same year. But Cleveland Farrell was such a reach at pick number 4 that it's like, I mean, it just didn't make any sense. And then last year they took Ruggs first, like the first wide receiver off the board. Hey, man, you look at the top 3 receivers. You look at Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, and Ruggs was taken first, and you look at their numbers. They're not parallel. Jeudy and Lamb had significantly better seasons than Ruggs. It's not to say Ruggs isn't good, but he wasn't the best receiver in the draft. That's the Raiders. So that's what they do. It's like the Jets for so many years took head scratchers with the first round pick. Since Joe Douglas has been here, Mekhi Becton was not a head scratcher. The safer pick was Wirfs, but it wasn't a head scratcher. It made sense. It's just a preference. We look Zach Wilson, we got a quarterback, and then we took AVT. It's just not a head scratcher, right? It makes sense. Even our second round pick, maybe not the way we would go, but it's not a head scratcher. He was a first round talent sitting there. So we took him. You know? So that's the difference. I'm with you, though. Like I said in Ryan's channel, the Jets panel, like there were quite a few of, especially when they happened, I couldn't take it when it happened. Wait, so it looks like I'm missing super chats. Hold on. Friggle D has a super chat. No, wait, hold on. I just scroll up the whole thing. I'm sorry, man. Let me look. Boogie Down Bronx. So I didn't see that one. Holy shit. I'll scroll back up. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how the hell I missed that. It's the worst. I hate that. Hey, Green Bean, I think Nasruddin has a Cam chance or potential. That's exactly right. He really does, man. I mean, this guy, like I was saying, he was Draft Tech is one of my go-tos for draft evaluation. I don't always agree with how they line everything up, of course, but they're one of my go-tos. And they had him as the 5th best safety in the entire draft. Draft Network, one of the channels that provides a sim, another well-respected, they had him as the 6th overall safety. ESPN had him as top, I think it was 5 as well, something like that, 5 or 6. Getting him where we got him, what the only word that comes to mind is steal. But again, it's injury. There was an injury because, look, he got injured at the end of 2019. He was having a first round type of a career. He gets injured, misses whatever, then he misses the beginning of the 2020 season and comes back in. So if you're not watching this guy closely, it looks like his production just dropped. If you just look. And it did. But it's not that simple. So we got a guy who could even be perceived as a first round talent in the 6th. Or was it the 5th? Hold on. Nasruddin, yeah, he was a 6th round, pick 186. So, but even if it's not first round, it's at least 3rd round talent. Like that's what they were expecting him to go because of the injury, the 3rd round. He slipped. So, dude, how great would it be if we get Cam Chancellor in the 6th round? Don't forget, lots of these guys. Look, Antonio Brown was in the 6th round, right? Was something like that? 4th round, 6th round. Sherman was a 4th round pick. Like these guys, it happens, man, all the time. When your team is the one with good scouts and good evaluation, you're the team that does that. The Steelers do it every year. So do the Ravens. Every year. That's why it's so great that Joe Douglas came from the Ravens, because they're one of the teams that nail it. You know what I mean? So thank you, Boogie Down Bronx. I appreciate that. Sorry about missing it. Let me look for Friggle D. Let me see. Where the fuck is Friggle D? There's E-Rock. Friggle D had a super chat. No much love, man. What do you mean? No much love? Where's Friggle D? I got the Friggle D's, didn't I? Friggle D, write the comment. I'm sorry, buddy. That's bullshit. That's the kind of stuff that pisses me off about myself. I'm going to go inside and call myself a piece of shit all night. You'll see. All right. Green Bean, you missed mine. Well, Friggle D. Yeah, where are you? I don't see it. Friggle D, write something right now. I'm going to go to the bottom and get it. And then I see DJ Sins. Where's Friggle D? Nope. Oh, you don't want to now? Come on. Oh, you guys getting into politics? Don't do politics. Please don't. That's just such a crazy town. It's so useless. It doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything good. Matter of fact, the less politics we can have in our lives, the happier we'll be. Guaranteed. It's all bullshit. Yeah, what's the socialist stuff? Yeah, guys, stop it. I missed your first. So there's Boogie Downs. I missed your. Was that your first one though, Boogie Down? The one that I just talked about? I'm looking for Friggle D. I don't see it. I just don't see it. And you know I'd never want to skip you, man. Friggle D's a fucking rock star, man. I would never. All right, now I'm all lost and shit. Well, let me go down. There's E-Rocks. Thank you for letting me know about Friggle D, E-Rock, my St. Louis friend. And I see Friggle D saying thanks. Then I see that. Right, see Wally. Yep. Well, I know. And E-Rock said something interesting. It's like trying to figure. He said, I have no idea how to figure out what JD's going to do. I know dude, how great is that? He's not able to be cornered and pigeonholed into like this, this one-dimensional thing. He's going to do what he thinks is best. It's the same thing happened in both drafts. I thought I understood what he was going to do, and it's completely different than what I ended up seeing. All right, now I'm like scanning. I'm like freaking out. I don't want to miss you guys. Let me get to DJ Sin. So I'm sorry, guys, and I'm sorry, Boogie Down Bronx. My bad, dude. Hopefully I got to the one that you talked about first. I appreciate it. I do. And I'm sorry. That's bullshit. Using next year's 2nd and 6 to trade back in to get a true corner. Back into what? The first, you mean? Get a true cornerback for a slower hybrid. Doesn't always translate. Jamie Sherwood's 4.75 can be a liability. But Jamie Sherwood is a linebacker. That's the thing. Like it said defensive back, or actually I think it said safety when we drafted him, but he's actually going to be playing linebacker for us. So that's the difference. Like here's the good news. While I'm with everybody who says we need a number one cornerback, I'm with it. But the truth is that if we have a pass rush, a legitimate pass rush, guys like Bryce Hall and maybe even Blesson Austin are going to be significantly better in that defense than they would be with a 3-4 that generates no pass rush trying to be on islands. You know what I mean? So Bryce Hall, number one, I have no concerns about. He's going to be a starter. Now, if he's that shutdown cornerback, I don't know yet. But I do know he's going to at least be a cornerback too. I know it. I have no questions about it. So maybe Blassan Austin and Bryce Hall with a legitimate pass rush can be good enough, especially when you're playing a 4-2-5 and you got other defensive backs scouring the zones. Think about it. You have Ashton Davis, super crazy fast. You got, let's say, Michael Carter II in the slot. You got Marcus May, who's decent in coverage. And then you got Bryce Hall and Blassan Austin. You know what I mean? Maybe even Lamar Jackson. So you have these guys working on. Jamie Sherwood was brought on to be a linebacker. Really. Even though they threw that at us. Let me see here. Same thing with Nazil Doreen. He's going to be a similar type of linebacker, I think. Nazrul Dean. We'll get it. We'll get that one right. Windsor. Yeah, I remember Windsor. We talked on Facebook too one time. I don't really go on Facebook very often, I'll be real honest with you. But I remember you and I talked there as well. Big True 11 on Twitter and Big True 85 on Instagram. We've talked a few times, and I just wanted to make sure you realize it's all the same person. Yeah, Windsor, let me tell you something. You have that kind of name, nobody's confusing it. You know what I mean? Like, I know who you, because your name comes up. I don't remember seeing Big True 11, but you use your real name. So yes, thank you. And I know it's you. I do. Do you guys judge your friends on, oh no, come on. Yeah, right. Good. There you go. Just stop with the politics, guys. Please. It's just so silly. Let me say this one thing about politics. I hope you are aware that every political view that you have, if it came from any news source, no matter what side you're on, it's by design that you feel the way you feel. That's it. I'll leave it right there. My political views are, I love the United States. I love my fucking beautiful, beautiful, awesome country that I travel around, and I hope it stays here. That's it. I wish all of you health and happiness. That's it. That's all I want. Yeah, I can't see it, Friggle D. It's kind of, it's like, it's gone. Like I can't get to the very beginning. Like with StreamYard, the studio that I'm using, I can't get to the very top. It's limited, but I can go back a ways and I just can't see it. Let's see what I see. Fun fact, Sherwood and Hamza have the longest reach and wingspan out of every defensive back and linebacker in the draft. Very interesting. You guys hear that? Look at that. Fun fact, Sherwood and Hamza have the longest reach and wingspan of every defensive back and linebacker in the draft. That's incredible. I didn't know that. That is a fun fact. Thank you. Lou Chandler says he hopes we sign Nelson. That'd be good. We'll get a quarterback. I'm not worried about that. Boogie Down Bronx says, we are building our own Legion of Boom. Yeah, man. And that's the cool thing. Like, when you think about the potential that a group of hardworking, football-loving athletes, like truly talented athletic people that are good leaders and hard workers and know how to play on a team and aren't all about themselves. Dude, when you have that and an inspiring coach, you can really do something. You can really do something. You get the kind of team, like look down in Tampa Bay. They had like 6 players that all took a pay cut or a restructure just to keep the team together. They didn't lose anybody in free agency. Isn't that insane? That's insane. Like, you think, fuck that. I'm not taking $1 million less. I'm not doing that. They did. It's crazy. So DJ Sin, that's a good point. He says he doesn't trust the whole idea of a hybrid linebacker and defensive back yet. I get it. I do. It's weird. Here's what I'll tell you, though. When you look at what Robert Saleh has done with those types, and not only the guys that like were drafted to be that guy, guys that were on the bench, and he needed to bring people in that were versatile and could figure out, like he needed to figure out roles for them. They had more injuries last year on San Francisco on defense in a quick amount of time. It was like sudden. Remember, during the game with us, they lost Solomon. What the hell is his name? Solomon Wilcox, I want to say. It's not him. Solomon Thomas. And they lost Bosa in one game. And they didn't miss a beat. You know, when Bosa and the other guy went down, you know what the next play was, right? It was a sack. So they lost their two of their best pass rushers. The next play was a sack. That's Saleh. You know what I mean? Truesdale. Okay, yeah, I would say Trousdale for sure. Okay, let's look what else. All right, guys. So I think I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Let me make sure I'm backing it up. I got that. I got that. I got that. Yeah, it's all I can. I can't go to the top anymore. Let me see. What does that say? E-Rock, Boogie Down, DJ Sin, the New York Jets 15. There he is. It's our time. It is our time. Let's be honest. We finally have leaders at the top of the tree. I'm sorry I missed this one, Jets 15. Really, man, that's fucked up. But I agree 100%. I agree 100%. We have real leaders, and not only real leaders that are good enough that the owners took a step back and they reorganized the hierarchy. The coach and the GM are not on the same level, nor should they be. The general manager is the coach's boss. That's the way it's supposed to be. And that's the way that it is now. So we have the right people. We have the right reporting structure. Everybody's in their place for the first time in 10 years. It's a big deal. It is a very big deal. It's incredible that that's what, you know what I mean? It's like what we were dealing with. It's comical. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate. Sorry for missing that. Here's Jeremy Cravat, Pinnock, and Justin Hardy. JD does it all. Solid, yeah. Oh, I think we did that one earlier. Yeah. Right, I got that one too. Friggle D, man. It's like no matter where I look, it's not there. I'm really sorry. All right, we're going to wrap this up on the bottom. Let me see here. I don't trust the hybrid linebacker. I saw that. And DJ Sin, thanks again, man. Appreciate this. I prefer to sign Poole and allow the defensive back room to earn their spots. Well, I can appreciate that, and not even to say I wouldn't, but clearly something's up with Brian Poole. He went out on the free agent market last year. Everybody thought he was going to get anywhere from $8 to $10 million a year. And he comes back to the Jets for 1 year, $5 million. Why? Then this year, he has another good year last year. And he leaves. I mean, he hits free agency. And it's not like we're not signing him. No one's signing him. So what does he want? $15 million a year or something? Maybe he's pricing himself out of the market. But then again, Ulbricht was his coach in Atlanta when he came to the Jets as a free agent. Why doesn't he want him? So I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm not saying anything. But there's something up there that we don't know. So even though we like Brian Poole, clearly there are some factors, some variables that we're not aware of. Because like I said, it's not that the Jets don't want him. 31 other teams have not signed this guy as the quote best nickelback, best slot corner in the game. Suppose he's up there. He's top 5. So what is it? So when you have a guy who's not getting signed by 32 teams, didn't really get signed last year. He came back to the Jets after about 2 weeks, a week, whatever it was on free agent market. Why did he come back so quick? For cheap. And then when you add that Ulbricht was his coach in Atlanta and doesn't want him, there's something there. We might sign him. Maybe it's just a price thing. Maybe he comes back for $4.2 million a year. I don't know. But like I said, for us, it's like, why don't we just sign Poole? Well, clearly there's something up. And they don't, he's getting older. He's expensive. So they're just like, I'd rather have a battle between Michael Carter II, Javelin Guidry, and some other dude. You know what I mean? They'd rather that, get younger. So I hear you. There's comfort in familiarity. But we don't know, man. The best slot corner that we've ever had might be on the roster right now. You know what I mean? When you look at a guy like Michael Carter II, he's 5'8", right? 180 something pounds. What I'm reading about him is that he plays and acts and thinks he is much bigger than his stature. He's one of those guys. He's always been trying to prove people wrong. He's got that crazy work ethic. Never stops. Plays through the whistle. He's one of those guys. So maybe he's an upgrade over Poole after some bumps and bruises and slips and falls, you know? You know what I mean? So like I said, there's something to Brian Poole. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that I know anything. I'm just saying there's something there. Because it's not like there was a huge line to sign this guy. There was no bidding war. You know? Right, Brian? Yeah. Yeah, Friggle D. It's a good point. It's looking like teams want to develop and draft slot corners instead of paying them. Dude, that's what's going on, man. Like you see it with running backs. And I mean, dude, you look, I think, I forget where it is now, but like just a couple of weeks ago, it was like there were all these big name running backs, Bell, Poole, Gurley, all these guys. And they're all on the market. Why? Because nobody wants to pay them when they're old, a little bit beat up, and there's 50 new guys coming in the league. You know? So I think that has a lot to do with it. All right, guys. Go in. I'm coming in. Go. We're going to call this one a night. I'm glad we got to use some of this fine internet that I have tonight. I'm glad. If I did miss anybody's super chat, please know it's certainly not my intention, and I am sorry. I'm sorry that there was a little bit of confusion. I just want to make sure that before we go that this guy gets helped out. He needs $650. Please help him. It's obviously very important. But guys, thank you for hanging out. This was nice. I like the Tuesday whatever fest, huh? If I could talk about Prevel cheese and chocolate, peanut butter cups. But look, man, I think we're on the upswing, guys. I enjoyed our time together. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you soon. All right? Have a good night, everybody.
Like when a Jet player leaves, I want him to fail. When Sean Ellis, I loved Sean Ellis. When he went to the Patriots, I hated his face. Darrelle Revis, I hated him. And when we traded Darrelle Revis to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off that knee surgery, we played them game 1 that year, the following year. I think we should have thrown at Revis every single play. It should have opened with it, and we should have tested that knee right off the gate. And he would have been unable to handle it because, as we know now, with hindsight, he was not 100%. He was on the field. We could have exploited him and made that trade look even better. That's how I roll.
2009, they rode the Mangini Express, Rex did, right to the AFC Championship game. Then they built upon that and got to the 2010 Championship game. And then it came. The worst offseason in New York Jets history.
They were beating us up last week about being not good enough. We didn't deserve. We got this guy Shap saying that we don't deserve the number one pick. A team like the Jets doesn't deserve to be rewarded with a guy like Trevor Lawrence. This is the shit we hear. So we win a game. Everybody's supposed to be happy. What does the NFL media do? They laugh at us. You guys couldn't even do that. You can't even lose right. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword, and it cuts both ways for us. So, f*** you.